Yes, I'm wearing pink again. It's because it's a warm and cozy jumper and I can't be bothered to change. Hey guys, it's Jamie and today I'm going to be talking about testosterone. Specifically, my personal expectations of changes that might happen when I was starting testosterone and the reality of what's actually happened to me taking testosterone. Oh man, first sentence never ruined it. Never mind. So I started T way back in January 2012, over 5.5 years ago. Can't believe how quickly the time has gone. I thought now was maybe a good time to like reflect back on some of the changes that I was hoping to get and what's actually happened. I really did try to keep my expectations fairly minimal because I didn't want to have really high expectations of what T was going to do and then be disappointed. So essentially I was just like a little bit hairier, deeper voice, maybe put on some weight, that kind of thing. But obviously my mind would run sometimes and I'd be like, oh, this would be great and oh, I'd love that. And yeah, so I'm just going to look over some of the things I can remember and talk about what I thought might happen with it and what's actually happened with it. Yeah. Number one, waiting forever for facial hair. Well, almost. I mean, clearly not forever because I have it now, but it felt like forever. It felt like it was never gonna happen. I did not hold my breath for facial hair quickly when I was first starting T, but when I hit the kind of 18 months point and I had nothing, I was getting very impatient and I was like, come on, where's my beard? And it wasn't until like another year later when I was about 2.5 years on T that I had stuff that was getting a little bit visible, like just wispy bits here and a little bit here and like my moustache and stuff. Mustache? Oh, that's a weird word. Essentially, I didn't expect it quickly, but I kind of wanted it quicker than it happened. I'd say it was around the 3-year mark for me that I really had a beard and not just wisps, and it's been filling in gradually ever since. Number 2, cracking and breaking voice. Oh my god, the cracking. Did it just crack on cracking? Are you serious? Cracking. And that is just a tiny example of what used to happen and what still happens clearly because my voice is now playing up. Why? So I had an expectation that my voice would get deeper when taking testosterone. I had my first major voice break around 3 months and then it just started to like slowly drop rather than like these deep drops, big, steep drops. But what took me by surprise is just how much my voice broke when I was talking. So between 3 months and 12 months on T, I couldn't really like raise my voice above a certain like volume, otherwise it would just break like, oh. My friends all used to laugh at me a lot. I didn't get too embarrassed, it was just, it was embarrassing actually. It was embarrassing. I sounded like a Pitchy Frog for about 9 months. And even now, my voice breaks a fair amount, like it cracks. I don't know if that's just what happens when you've got a deeper voice. Is it a thing? Can someone tell me if it's a thing? I don't know. Number 3, I'm still skinny. Right, so I didn't expect to become some muscly, hulky beauty, but I was maybe hoping for like a little bit of extra muscle, like a little bit extra bulk, even a little bit like extra squidge, just anything. It was a big thing that I heard happening where people would start testosterone, they'd have an increase in appetite and they would find it easier to gain muscle, so they'd bulk up a bit, gain a bit of weight. And I had the eating part, like the increase in appetite, but not really the other bit. It forgot me. To be fair, I have put on a little bit of weight since I started testosterone and my body is a different shape as well and I am a little bit bulkier, if you can believe that. And my top size has increased from a small to a medium, but still skinny. Number 4, non-physical changes. The non-physical changes T can cause, both like direct and indirect, were not things that I really thought that much about or had any expectations on, but there have been way more mental changes than I ever thought there would be, which isn't hard because I didn't have any expectations. I've had quite a few like emotional changes that I didn't expect, basically. And I have talked about this in a separate video. I'll put the link in the description box below. But I've also had indirect changes that I didn't expect to happen, like massive increase in like my confidence and just how comfortable I feel with myself, which genuinely I think I'd have to say is my favorite change caused by testosterone. I mean, obviously it's kind of caused by all the other changes that go along with it, but I didn't expect to become so much more comfortable in my body. Number 5, this might be a bit of a weird one. My shoes still fit. Not really disappointed because I didn't have to go out and spend a lot of money getting new shoes, but also I probably would have enjoyed shopping for new shoes and having a good excuse to. What I basically heard is that some people experience like their feet getting bigger, not necessarily because they like grow. I don't think the bones actually grow, but the feet get like thicker or something and they just get bigger and people need to go up a shoe size. And I was kind of like, oh, that would be nice because I'm a UK size 9 and I really like numbers that end in 5 or 10, so it would be lovely to be a size 10. Didn't happen. My feet are identical to how they were pre-T, except they are a little bit hairy, particularly my big toe. Number 6, the little things. I think there is a big focus on the big changes like voice drop, body hair, facial hair, that kind of thing, that it's not talked about as much like the smaller changes that can happen. They all kind of like add up to create the overall change that testosterone causes to your being. Yeah. I've experienced quite a lot of smaller changes that I'd either never really heard of could happen or I just didn't think of. So like a few of them include like my smells are different, my body odor and my pee smell different. I have random shoulder hairs. It's like, you know, a spider leg graveyard up here. Also my hands look different, which is probably like one of my favorite smaller changes. And I'm showing you my hand, but you don't know what my hand looked like before, so it probably doesn't mean anything to you guys. But I always felt quite self-conscious that my hands looked very delicate and my fingers were very like thin, which they still are, but I am happy with how my hands look now compared to pre-T. And finally, my nose is bigger. Not really anything to add on that, didn't expect it to happen. My nose is bigger. It didn't need to get bigger, it was already pretty big, but it's bigger, you know, fine, I accept it. I've got a big nose. And finally, number 7, receding hairline and thinning hair. This is a serious one, guys. I was quite overconfident with my hair. I always just had this really thick tuft, and my dad's got a good head of hair and so has my brother, so I didn't really expect testosterone to do much, or at least not much, quickly, and I just genuinely never really worried about the potential of losing my hair when taking testosterone. And that was until about 4 years on T, when I had a little bit of a disaster of a haircut. Thank you, Shaba. I always keep my hair like quite long, but it was the first time I'd cut it short since I'd started testosterone, and I was 4 years on T, and I could just see that my hairline had gone back straight away. I was like, oh, where is my hair? It's gone. Where has it gone? Down the drain, on the floor, everywhere, because I just seemed to leave like a little trail of head hair behind me. You can tell where I've gone. It's where the hair is. It's like Hansel and Gretel, but with hair. But yeah, that basically sent me into total panic over going bald, which has eased off now because my hairline hasn't changed for like over a year, as far as I'm aware. And my hair does not fall out very quickly. It's not like I wash it or I style it and I've got clumps. It's just like the odd one. I maybe have like 3 or 4 maximum when I run my hands through. I don't know what that means. I don't know how good or bad that is, but it's kind of a back burner worry. It's like, it's a worry that's back here. It used to be up here, but it's gone back a bit. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, those are some of my expectations and some of the reality I experienced on testosterone. I'd love to hear what you guys have experienced / are currently experiencing. Come follow me on other social medias. All the links are down below in the description box. Give the video a like and maybe subscribe if you would like to. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.